そっか、昨日この部屋で終わったんだっけ、続きは。どんなアイテムだ。こっちだな。
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
古風な人間が住んでる。
The lieutenant does not bow to the flag. It accepts your salute with quiet dignity. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make... The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment. Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens as...
Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
마그네슘을 手に入れた。曲が止まっている。とりあえずここでちょっとセーブして、インタラクト。マグカップ。あれ？あった。
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. But it will not happen. The mug talk is exhausted.
そっか。
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the iceberg.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box?
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
The lieutenant nods.
Looks like someone from that... That's implausible.
Someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off... You'll find the filament memory with the offsite copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. Someone has scribbled S. You'll find the filament memory with the offside copy. The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct. After rifling the pages with your thumb the magazine is divided into several sections. International Development. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from, but like the structures of so please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. Comrade, so please, if you flip back to the front of this section includes, you also face it, you flip back to the front of the magazine. It takes a moment, but as you leaf through this the main feature though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. This so-called artist spotlight is really, the actual article is surprisingly light on details. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll. You think you're settled. Instead, you find where to even start. For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on death. Oddly enough, this article has, under capitalism, the article says, thus, and that precise, at the end of the day. Sure, you think this flimsy magazine is right. Deep down, you know that's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let some...
Ah, come on. Can this article read your mind? A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even...
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. It takes a moment as you leaf through. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled... You think, instead, where to even start. For one, there's thus, and that precise. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000... You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective. I'm sure most things are, if the young man who wrote this... If I had to...
You flip back to the front of the... Unsurprisingly, you skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and... Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent. According to these editorials, there can be... Judging from the... You flip back to the front of the magazine.
そっかそっか、よくわかんねえな。お
What's this? We're getting reports of normal political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about that, but it's also more. It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. Incrementally. Yawn. You'd get there faster with a little. Speaking of, when are you going to get on that, Bob? History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that it's also post-industrial, post-ideological. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about... That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in,
Yes? What do you want to know? No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
the lieutenant adjusts his collar. It doesn't look like he wants the case to be more mysterious.
Good.
No response. He just arches his brow.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs? Try work, the case at hand. It can work miracles. Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for two.
Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer. Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted? Yes?
キムじゃない。ああ、ダメなのか。
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
まだダメなのか。
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to the...
Active decay.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
まだダメだ。ああ、間違えた。まあいいや。
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? It will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Oh, it's you. With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol,
あれだけハーブと酒をやってるよ。
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life now. Use it wisely. Yes, there's no end to the misfortunes fate has seen fit to rain upon me. Basking in your glory, yeah? Practically drowning in it. Please. Yes, there's no end to the misfortune. Who? You are? You lost your human visage a while back. Now let's get on with it. I've got more important things to do.
死んでしまったやろうか。
Yes, there's no end. Oh, spare me the sad, drunken blubbering and get on with it. What's your complaint? That's because you're hungover. Even the radio waves coming from your direction smell like liquor. Do you feel like your eyes are twitching too? Good. It would be an awful nuisance if your experiments with your blood...
It certainly does not help with aiming.
That's because you're hung... That's the tiny vessels pulsating from high blood pressure, stupid officer. You might be sustaining permanent damage to your vision, as we... The busy kind. It's not life-threatening, just annoying. For you. I've got more important things to do here.
It certainly does not help with aiming.
And you survived it. Congratulations. Are you mobile?
Sort of, but by God does it burn in your chest.
Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't worry about that. Officers your age have coronary... What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body? You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. Our station is not our retirement.
So it's political. You're being neglected because of political reasons. The money is probably going to some old, oily...
And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact,
It's not fucking cryo-acta-latte. It's super glue, Doc.
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? You want the real, honest-to-God truth?
So it's political. The money...
And no,
It's not fucking
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Do that. I need to go. Some idiot has glued his eye...
It's not fucking cryo-acta-latte.
お、経験値が入った。
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering.
そっか。 まあいいじゃないか。とりあえずセーブじゃよ。
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Cop habit. You look at everything. Hard to say.
行きましょう。
The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber.
発信地衝突で転換して
Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A. The driver started there and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager.
その後はどうだった
The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building.
すぐさま
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city. I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With a jam right here on the roundabout.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal.
What do you see?
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eye.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guarantee.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
You keep coming.
You find your hands deep. The box smells like cat.
Economical,
You find your... The box...
economical, but also trendy.
今立ちた
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. The sign billboard has fallen on the waterlock, keeping it open, and thus out of order. Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it.
そうにしているのよし高い系
Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle.
引かれたんだ。
These look like the same tire tracks I saw earlier, in front of the whirling rags.
くぼみを見る。
Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers an hour.
で、小屋の屋根を見る。あ、登っ
The
ちゃっ
black
たの。
marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack.
うんうん。おう、
The panel served as a takeoff ramp.
壊れた支柱。
The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting the posts. Then it continued its flight, taking the billboard with it. The sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal.
で、岸の反対側は
Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog along the
消えてい
coast.
った。
There are two good candidates, the Caprice 40 and the Linear G22. It's about the right size, and the tire marks look like they came from the skinny tires frequently found on that motor carriage. Very sturdy but light motor
環境の
carriage,
流れ。
more likely than most to survive that jump.
じゃあこの後は
You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The lieutenant looks on, waiting for you to...
どうしたキム？
Any theories about what happened here? What kind of car do you think it was? That's quite likely, from what I can tell. We're not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder? If we must.
The crumpled salmon and butter billboard still soaks in the canal, marked by tire tracks. There are two good candidates. The Caprice 40, you'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The lieutenant looked...
Yes?
A rusting control panel with loose wire. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind. Nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning? You pull the lever. Nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to it. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality? file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to greet you. Hundreds of documents and the same material. You already went through all of these. The drawer slides.
しょうがない、まあこれしかないのか。
The payphone hangs. This is the night watchman.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best, helping people.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you. Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are neat freaks. If you don't mind me saying so, I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
That's not how you baton someone. The technique is way off. You strike with your whole body, not just the baton.
Really? I'm not so sure about it.
Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. I know I'm not a real police officer. You are. Racist mugs, I have so...
Yes.
Oh, no, no. Believe me, but he does live...
That's not how you baton someone. The technique is way off. You strike with your whole...
Of course, Harry. I'm not... Racist mug, I have so...
Yes.
Oh, no, no. Believe me, Harry, but he does live...
That's not how you baton someone. The technique...
Oh, Harry, thanks for the tip. I'll leave doing the real damage to you. You are the real police officer after all, not me. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship.
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pine.
Those Senorita Pineapple people are scary motherfuckers. Decimating your state if you don't give them your pineapples.
Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should... But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out, and...
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
An entire neighborhood of killers.
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood. They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have...
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, Socialist Democratic..." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the... These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant.
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy leading the scabs at the gate is colossal.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members. Always working to advance their position in the local socialist Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some
Separate one from the herd.
Oh, that would definitely be Fat Angus. His feet smell from a city block away, and he's always having noisy stomach troubles. Horrible, revolting guy. You would die, Harry. You would die, and in the process start a bloody and completely unnecessary war between the Debarders Union and the Citizens Militia. Angus, his ever-growling stomach, and his smelly feet are all part of the Union. You have as much right to arrest him as I have to arrest your partner here. Actually, less. Because this is my hometown, my territory, and my backyard. You are a guest here, Harry. Please remember that. Oh, Harry. This is getting real grim, and there's no need for that. Oh, they are Old Theo.
Interesting.
They're almost work with them.
Separate one from the herd.
Oh, that would definitely be Fat Angus. His feet smell from a city block away, and he's... You would die, Harry. You Angus, his ever-growling stomach, and his smell... Actually, left. Oh, Harry. This is getting real grim, and there's no need for that. We are friends. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. He looks a little puzzled.
Good boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions? Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left? So you have to be a social democrat?
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found...
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
Whoa.
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth center in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
Roller skating, not drugs, Harry.
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box. And
they are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth center, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Here. And Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is... Mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you. By all means, Harry, what's on your mind?
Ma.まあちょっとずつだけど事件は進み始めてるね。
Rusting control, no screech of metal when you... The crane does not return to its original position.そういえばあの本ってバールとか装備してもダメなんかな。チェーンカットあれ。 before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, you attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions, with some puzzlement. No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like this.
Dame de esta.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend. Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? That's so. I haven't heard anything about that. But if that's true, well, he was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search. We're negotiating our share. Aye. This stuff, they already covered. It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes the...
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt... Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all. No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying, even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. And none of the above kind of man. No harm in being that. Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command, it all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs is that of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions. No. No. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go eat.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! What's it to you? No, don't think we've met before. I came to help out people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain.
A monstrous shadow high above the fire traps of the domain. The 881 motorway running over this district of Jamrock. Concrete pillars rise up from the midst of the dilapidated wooden houses. On the horizon, barely visible, the hazy life in the domain is even worse off than in Martinez. The cold air is stiff from the fumes of them. Below, broken down, battered people mill on the dusty streets with no purpose. Yet amongst them, there is no sight of this man. Nowhere.
Yeah? What makes you say that? Your gut's got too much alcohol in it, getting delirious. What's it to you? Big mess, caused by Union greed. We're all workers, right?
A monstrous shadow, high life in the below. Broken down, battered people mill on the dusty streets.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. What's it to you? Big mess, caused by... We're all workers.
A monstrous shadow high above the fire traps of the domain. The life in the below. Broken down, battered people mill on the dusty streets with no purpose. Yet...
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? It was a long time ago. What's it to you? Big man. We're all workers.
A monstrous life in the below. Broken down, battered people mill on the dusty streets with no purpose. Yet amongst...
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? We're done here.
He's stopped.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! Things are busy enough. You're going to waste less of my time.
The hulking man oozes stark skepticism.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working. If the
physically impressive man tower has turned his attention.
Honest men and women, we came here to help.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules. We were promised work. We'd be in. Main gate's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head like civil.
It would be better.
No! They will give up eventually.
Hello, compatriote. It's about biological determinism. Not...
Change the topic. The way he...
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. Huh? People who've studied these things say that you and...
If this guy's all the Occidentals have, well, let's just say he's not exactly ripped.
So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior... This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The damn kids are showing up good lately. Same with the mosquitoes. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? Go right ahead. You may be a cop.
Lieutenant Kitsaraga's stern expression. Not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks, wriggled out of it. Her hands move, an array of neurons fire up with joy. Bum her a cigarette, lest it turn to pain.
No, I don't. Why do you think that I smoke? No, you don't. I already told you, I don't have any.
She's lying. She's goddamn lying. She has smokes.
Sorry, officer.
She's lying. Lying, lying.
No, I'm not lying. Why should I lie? Please go to the Frita kiosk. Sorry, officer.
She's lying. Lying, lying. She sighs. The woman before you nods.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. No, sir. She's a working woman who comes to look at the books. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. I think she is a bad husband. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Place. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm. Oh, kings and queens and generals of old. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame. I don't know about that, but I imagine life is great when you're famous.
They're all dogs.
Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who... You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? Why is that? Oh, okay. I shouldn't have said that thing about Dick Mullen. Don't say that. He's not even real. You're real. Cheer up, sir. No need to compare yourself to a fictional character. Maybe you can show me some real deduction. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both, because it builds character. Mum says a
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette. The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow.
It's the type of... Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. No.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower. The girl is at a loss for words. She shifts and sways on her feet.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you. Sir, sorry, sir. I'm still little. I can't... It happens. Those are unhappy books for most of the pages. These are not... Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick it. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like... Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy. That's really not a proper... I guess, yes. People in books are always very interesting, especially the romance people. That's really not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end. Maybe some about other books? No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though. That's a friendly enough face, most of the time. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir, I can't. By your command.
My husband? No, he's not. Excuse me? A bad husband? What do you mean? Do policemen just go around repeating what some kid off the street said? Is she now? Annette's a sweet sprout, but she doesn't know anything about marriage. No, I don't. I have a good husband. The kind and helpful sort. And he's not missing. I don't know.
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but... No. Why are we still talking about this?
Kids are always going missing. Weak, pathetic kids. Always getting themselves killed.
My husband? No, he's not. Excuse me. Do policemen just go around repeating what some kid off the street said? Can I give you some friendly advice, Mr. No, I don't. I have a good husband. Do policemen? Is she not? Annette? No, I don't. I have a good husband. The kind and helpful sort. And he's not missing. Excuse me? Do policemen just go... Is she not... Annette? No, I don't. I have a... I don't...
Where is this going, officer?
She gives you a short nod and shifts her attention back to book.
No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not...
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
Mm-hmm, I see. Thanks.
The woman
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later declared bankruptcy. And their malicious spirit. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie... It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail.
Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
Yes, I've contacted numerous parasites. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear it's not enough. Oh, this! No, it's a special Himian amulet. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with it. Yes, the Simonese are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she...
God, I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life. She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called grow.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress. She's been too busy helping me here, so she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off. Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded...
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand. Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne. It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing project.
Your head feels light and dizzy. A cold breeze caresses your flesh. Monstrous buildings loom over Grand Couronne. A cold wind howls in the empty halls of homes built upon delusions. There is no life in Grand Couronne. No one can afford to live there.
Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the... He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally, she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits. A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
These shelves are overburdened. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all. A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title. From A to Zurich. Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral. You don't have behavioral problems. That's garbage. Turns out that there are you don't have behavioral.
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
Slowly, you move your hand toward the tome of cockatoos. Before you reach the book, you're interrupted.
Do we really need to do this? I think not.
Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice. I knew it was a good idea to keep that around.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern. This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo. Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk, and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the... You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent. Ouch. That must hurt. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, perhaps the most impressive of all the species. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more... Despite its banging name, the Bang Bang cockatoo is actually the shyest. The bang is for all the scary things in the world that may happen at any time. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right, Your Majesty embodied. This big, beautiful bird belongs on your heraldry. Despite its... The bang is for all the scary things in the world that may happen at any time. Despite its... The bang is for all the scary things in the...
セーブしちゃっていい。よし。
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now. Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. Oh, I found something while you were away. I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
おー、優しいな。
Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there. Maybe. It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Right, I have to get back to my homework now. Before Mum notices. Man, this is hard. No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though. That's a friendly enough face, most of the time.
いけるかな?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Yes, I used to stand out there all the time, before Mother told me to focus on my homework. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, telling people about being a star or something. I don't really understand who those stars are. Of course, you stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. Good thing she didn't say party eyes loud. Her mother's nearby. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
I didn't know I had to do that. I'm glad I could help you, sir.
の街でずっと数日間裸で走ってたのか。
Whoa, what have we here? A bridge with loose nails and rotten fist. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
True, they never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though. The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about. Shall we?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally. Time to choose sides.
Of course. He must have his practical uses. How else could he have kept...
どういうこと？ああ。
He could have kept it with corruption. Fantastic, verm-like corruption that reaches into the bowels of the earth.
The RCM does not pick sides in this, madame. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. However, if you felt like, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person?
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it? Ah, yes. I've been meaning to go there. A youth centre with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it. Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him. Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted...
She is more defensive about it than usual.
full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded you any information? A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that. Oh my. A real door.
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
That's good to hear, Detective. Police work is rarely pretty, but it sounds...
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal, and it was not for nothing. I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
Naturally, Detective. There are lighter topics to gossip about. Oh. That's so...
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw must... He's able to contain the anger and surprise.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's lying to you. Anyway, was there anything else you've heard? Of course, Detective. Should something come up later, down the road? Until then, is there anything I can help you with? Why, yes I am. The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is. It's a pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for category... My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the...
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified...
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn...
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but 2 insulindic regattas. Even finished once. The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now.
Actually, you don't. The Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license. It's a little-known fact among us law officials. I was just being polite. Even school children know the Wayfarer Act. No need to politicize this. You may still ask for the lady's passport.
Of course.
The woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the woman, born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you, face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The name...
Yes, but please don't call me that. Joyce is much more efficient. My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
20国籍なんだ。
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her coat.
Of
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou. We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou. I haven't seen anyone else.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially. It's for crossing.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distance. Good.
船に乗せてもらえない。
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman. The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
She really doesn't like those nut jobs. Bad blood there.
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
いろんな種類のバカが集まる。
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone. No one lives there. It's been empty for months. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans. Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. It's something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. The symbol of what now? Ah, all I know about politics is that it's brought us more harm than good. Oh, I think he's something to do with all that. That's what I said.
The lieutenant shakes his head, as though to say, let it go.
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. She leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her head. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging a poor communard from the looks of it.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside.
Later then, entering this door seems a physical challenge.
Excuse me?
Scare them, suspected of some big crime.
Oh, come on.
That was smart.
Oh, right.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with...
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
A sudden serious look crosses her face.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything... Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door.
So preppy. She's probably on some low-grade performance enhancers, like prepped.
A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that. Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it. These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. And if you don't ask me what happened with the wall, I have no idea. Both apartments are now unrentable. Of course. What now? I need to get it... It was some kind of a moribund old man who you...
A sudden serious...
But that was months ago. Of course. What now? I need to get... Ha! Sounds like you've spent too much time undercover in some rock band. It was some kind...
A sudden...
But that was months ago. Of course.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, the shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud.
After you, detective.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Nothing, nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock. Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them. A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads...
He's known as the father of scientific communism, also known as Masovianism. His theories about economic history greatly influenced, some would even say sparked, the anti-centennial revolution. The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting. I suspect that's exactly what they are trying to do. There aren't many communists around. He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to lack. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution.
The lieutenant raises a brow.
Thank you for sharing this wonderful opinion on human sexuality. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution.
The lieutenant raises.
Thank you for sharing this wonderful... There aren't many communists around.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle...
What now? I need to get it ready. Ha! It was some kind of...
A sudden series...
But that was months ago. Of course. What now? Oh, that's another... And again...
So preppy. She's...
A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? Don't ask me. Both apartments are now Of course.
This door is made of metal. No one answers.
We should return in the evening, at 9 p.m. the earliest.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another. Hatred? The woman on the boat.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. On a first-name basis with her, are we? Pig's not half as dumb as he looks. Can't you tell? I'm painting a I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginatives. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just Union. This place... I thought I'd mix it up. Yeah? Lying is cool, I guess. Ooh. Not only have you found my...
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me. It doesn't have to do anything at all. Shoot, Piggy. It's what you...
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Oh, I do like wizards, and people like that in general. They have a lot to tell us about our fates.
She means clairvoyance.
I'm no one. Just an old woman who if you can call it living. It's barely bigger than a closet.
And all she gets, too.
Ask away, policeman. The hell?
She really doesn't like those nut jobs. Bad blood there. She mumbles some kind of a...
Give me a moment.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing. There he still is, looking right through.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a...
Even a mod? Glenn.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people, fuckwad.
No, Glenn. They aren't. I am not.
You could be...
Even a...
He's right. With a face like that, the cold look in her.
I am not.
You could be...
Even a mod?
He's right. With a
Please, do.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Speak Revacholian? We speak Suren. There is no such thing as...
The cook is...
Good thing he didn't understand a word of your stupidity. Speak Revacholian? We speak Suren.
The cook is...
Good thing he didn't understand.
You see ahead the cobalt blue, old cobalt paint. It leads to a side. The cobalt, it leads to a... The door does not.
どうしようかな。
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes. Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that...
On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway.
Thank you anyway.
Yes. You're already set for the night. Your door is unlocked. Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. It's not strange, it's... Who told you that? Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. If you do find out who cut the line, though... Yes?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. The bed is still cold from...
まだ休む時間じゃない。
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again, just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
Good one, Titus.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. I am. He stepped out.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike.
A live grenade.
I can't prove it. Wrong? To kill us all.
Yeah.
He grabbed some...
Yeah. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt?
What about him? About fucking time. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, Lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us? You gonna let him talk to me like that, Titus?
Let's see. Yeah, I guess I am, you big pussy. The old man sent word you'd be around again. That's the reason I'm being so forthcoming with you. Don't wear it out. Again.
Good one, Titus.
Didn't
they teach you?
Can you give us a few?
Titus.
We overpower.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks. No. Of course he's having trouble.
Fuck off, Shanky.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going...
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to... Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our... Weren't you fucking listening?
With numbers, asshole.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
With numbers, ass.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
And fuck you, too, copper. Picking on Angus like this.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of that.
Like what, copper? Why? 'Cause he was... So am I. Now, why? I am.
What kind of...
The kind that...
A live grenade.
I can't prove it. But I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They...
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to them.
Really?
Yeah. We couldn't believe it.
Wrong? To kill us all.
Yeah.
He grabbed someone.
Yeah. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt?
What about him? About fucking time.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks... The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph. No response. Wherever this woman... No response. Wherever... No response. Where... 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 No response. Wherever this... Typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. All the old boomboxes. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets. This set of soldiers is a...
You're probably talking about, I think their poverty has been exaggerated. I don't like either set.
They're not all...
This is what the loyalists...
Which ones?
They're not all blue.
Which ones? Ah, those.
Big men.
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be...
This set of...
You're probably... I think their poverty has been... Okay. I don't...
This set of...
You're probably... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for a... I don't like either set very much, to be honest.
とんがらい不中道主義者よくわからん
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Traffic? I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. I just don't like it very much. Movement on the... Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of...
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I didn't really know what to make of it, but I know it meant something. Traffic? I'm sorry, officer. Now that I think...
That sure narrows down our...
He shakes his head, slowly.
The Coldima Madakwa? Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter. Oh, I didn't mean to imply otherwise. Once knew a group of young musicians who decided that this was before you... Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with... We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns. Compared them. Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. But I...
Do we really have time for this?
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz.
As the hum grows louder, modulating, but always unnaturally uncomfortably low. Like it's coming not from... That's an illusion. Your breathing is just as it was. He nods to you, reassuringly. Just as more diverse, higher pitch...
Gulls and skewers. But...
Shh. That's it. The signal in the noise. The thin, low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point. But...
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the Coldima Madakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong... photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher. The Coldima Madakwa. Sorry, I would never have guessed it. How interesting. Wow, once knew this was before. You know, I'm not sure.
Do we really have time for this?
This record, keep in mind.
As the... That's... and he nods.
Gulls.
That's it. A low range of...
You know, of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just the Coldima Madakwa. Sorry, that's fair. This was before.
Do we really have time for this?
All right.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
ち上げてみるか。
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game.
これこそ真のチャンピオンだ。
A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor.
Good technique.
The barbell waits patiently. The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog.
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand. Right. Now let's get to it.
Some areas are inaccessible without your flashlight. After you've acquired it,
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot. Yes, you might even call it a feature of the universe that you need to hold tools to use. Right. Now,
some areas
Your flashlights, some of the writing has faded with age. These lithe, translucent, one of the Welkins, towering among the rest. It's the hull door.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like... This looks like concept art. Just look at those details.
The photo, entire you see, albeit dark and cold. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat day. This is a monthly calendar from the year. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal." Your eyes glide over 4 sections of the it looks as time goes on.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left. The handwriting is only partly lit. The full text outside. A cold wind wraps. This old fireplace is covered. Radio frequencies, it seems, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system, split, perhaps. The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart. Looks like a surveillance. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap. Someone very whoever decides a list of names under the stations.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious they Exactly.
Nothing is... Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft... It's empty. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the speaker comes to life.
Good evening, Doctor's Accident. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. I am contractually obliged to...
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can Can you please repeat the password? Still no. 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 Received. I will read fortress accident. Is the fortress accident is the camp. One moment, fortress. Any other questions? Yes.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Infantry. As
On an island on the...
now, please tell me if... Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in a black marker, nothing happens. The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden in a friendly cup. The paper still smells.
Good question.
Somewhere in the past, it's summer. 5-year-old. Her mother rushes to...
I know. What is even worse...
The fridge buzzes with... A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark.
It means there are firearms, albeit in... Seems like an old bunker from the rev...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like you slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to... No, this is going to need something else, some kind of super pry bar. If you want to try again, then you need to have the...
Equip the pry bar by going to the Tools tab in your inventory. From there, you can equip it to a held slot.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. Only the red cable is plugged into the breaker box, while the black one lies neglected on the floor. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented. This orange machine is buzzing. The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching a...
Good question.
Somewhere in the past, it's summer.
I know. What is even...
The fridge buzzes. thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. A thick layer of coal dust. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave still. It's good to have this dirt on you. Real men wear. Bent metal. Broken glass. Your path lies strewn. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter. Kudos. There he still is. Look. The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker. But the documents inside the envelope still lack the required...
It's not going to be that easy. We need to dirty our hands with the signatures.
like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal instincts. Feels like being on recon again. It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading.
His moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon.
This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her? I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find. Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight. She is nobody. This is none of your...
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your...
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical...
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business.
It's his heart.
No one. The bus has been unmanned since last...
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's...
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him.
The possibility of someone being in there is...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting there reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Yes. Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now? Yes, it does. Unfortunately, no one...
No one has been guarding the container...
Yes.
Look, officers. The
possibility...
Evrard created this job for René.
Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now? Yes, it does. And no one. Yeah.
Look, officers.
The
Evrard created this job for René.
It's not charity. Up there.
Something about him has changed. He's calmer somehow.
Yes, it does. And no one.
No one.
Yes.
Look, officers.
The
Evrard created this job for René.
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guy? Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't... It's a...
You see?
I'm fine.
It's his heart.
No one.
No one.
Yes.
Look, officers.
The
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension. Oh, I didn't mean to imply there's something wrong with that.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. keeps my senses sharp.
As Rene turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight. Two. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles the sun. A crowned head in front of two crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. A small blue star inside an orange sun.
For bravery. I'm sure, but I know this uniform's reputation. You are also wondering if I got this for raping women or killing babies. Son, we should never forget our past. Lots of mistakes were made back then. Forgetting those times means the mistakes...
Whoa! Sounds like you're about to open the gates of conversation. This man will literally talk your ear off if you let him wander off to memory.
For doing my duty in the heat of battle.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading. King Frisel thought he could end it all. Alas, the young Drisson was all...
Purple velvet tunic.
To keep the long and bloody story short, the rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage. I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound, then his horse.
It's painful to even think about.
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des...
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolas Tresson. The Dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that... So I grabbed the Dink and started crawling. Kept... Through some miracle, we both survived. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine. In his billowing...
Bah! There were many such...
Oh, yes,
I'm not getting into this with you.
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
세이브다나.
Officer, the mere sight of police in Martinez makes me feel safer already. How can I help you? Oh, sweet Jenny.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives. She was René's first girl, back when the prick was 16.
And then you stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out.
We were just boys then. This was different. No point starting this all over again.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. René and I were both by her bedside when she...
died. No use sugarcoating it.
Departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between it.
A quick grimace of pain passes over René's features, but he immediately regains control. His face now a dispassion.
She could never make up her mind about anything. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married. Heck, technically, we both...
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. So Justa with your fancy words and base...
He suddenly remembers you are still there.
She was always... Heck, technically...
He suddenly remembers you...
She was always... Heck,
He suddenly remembers you...
René
died.
Depart.
A quick grimace of pain.
We knew she was...
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, officer.
You stole her.
Well...
We were just... No point stop.
We knew she was...
And then you...
It's okay, officer. You might have just saved René from a heart attack. Sweet, sweet Jenny. Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
You know, to hell.
Of course, officers. Is there the gnome of Jeroma? Oh, it is. It was a couple of... It's still...
If the body of...
Alas, instead of Cryobacter catlensis. Yes, a bacteria. Michanu disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study. Everything has a price, sweetie. After Michanu, we can assume that she has been living... That would be... The giant lives in the most arid parts of the Vascoconur desert. Mirage or psychogenous luminance. No one knows the tower.
Who are you?
That's what makes... There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can begin. I'm glad you like them, but I'm not really one...
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've... The window stands broken and you see some lights shimmering outside. Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of what a solid can of mass-produced piss water. Well over 10% alcohol in this so-called beer. Pop it open before... Wow. The gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughable. There's a satisfying pop as the cap comes off, and the hair on your back rises like an army at attention. Nothing. Some mental stuff. Nothing to be worried about. A golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it into a happy, gooey mess. So does your mind. All the bad things are melting. You're you again. A real cop. A real detective. Incredibly well done.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's an alcohol button. Alcohol gives +1 to physique skills. Physical instrument, half light, electrochemistry, endurance, pain threshold, and...
From the void we came, and to the void we must return.
しよう。ここで終わりかな。